Ghana nsɛm a ɛkɔ no ɛdɔɔso. Baako bi aba abɔnten a mehu sɛ Morris Ampa di nkɔmmɔ si efɛn sɛ 24-hour economy. Na ɛdi ade pa yintie.
Etu mama say omo muntu because 24 hours economy. It abe for nya mun so ntia mama. Eko policy no. Mama mambo. Mama bapa muntu biom. Because mama ba amanfo na ama munya mu oduma. Because so amanfo da na mutu na muko didi na muko ba na mutu bi di ya amanfo ebi muti na mu de akọ football park so na mu de akọ bobo. O dey say abe for no and follow na mutu bi eduma because and follow sana omo mu ni bambo no mu da ho na akwara be ti no no de akọ bobo na omo operate omo tu fa omo tutu no mo nam abe for nam abe for so ade sa no mutu bi bie choba omo tu bi bie restaurant omo tu bi bie filling station na adodofo yi na ama so obagia sa adodofo foro eduma na ya nwonfo ne mo sori o mo sori waka o mama government be sa nwonmo eduma o obesa be ifo eduma o obesa be fo eduma o mo fam no mo si de kwan.
Okay, eti Morris Ampa ani etene nka menim sa agro no videos na ni abrew emze no de twetwe mahama enne nkofo. Na Morris Ampa le 24 hour yi abetu dwawi afi yendom mo suko ne ehwede ye koso ankasa. 24 hour yi aye ka ho asem de adea. Mahama na de bae wona abeka to abonten. Eho asem te sen. Yenkotie yewura mahama ankasa no masem. Na me ametie na no masem ni kwa echi na ayasa adwetwema so kakra. Because utie ni nsem a oka na se obe register adwuma no. U register adwuma no ebe 24 no ase a na omo ama security e wo saa kwan no so because wo be ye adwuma 24 no. Afin so o tax a obetua so metete so e de ama because wo ye adwuma na dwon so. Saa 24 ya mahama akin companies do send a work Ghana omo ebe saa 24 me the question na me busa wo because baby na me wo ye Israel 24 ni ekọ 11 em say 12 years ni agina moto no pass 6 ngo for France aba ta 24 hu koma ye dio better time nti hours aba ye na yetua oka ana ye overtime yetua na Ghana omo ye hours adwuma de me the question na me busa wo Ghana ho no ye wonkofo omo ti Ghana omo clock de a odwum company bi wo ho clock awa aba ye na yetua de because obi aye no full time or fixed price o itina I don't know anyways yenko tie mahama nsem wo le tudwa.
Recently, I talked about a 24-hour economy. And many people are coming and saying, oh, it's not a well-thought-through program. People are doing 24-hour economy already. If one pharmacy is doing 24 hours, if one factory is doing 24 hours, that's not what I'm talking about. Everybody should be encouraged to be able to do a 24-hour shift. Because we have the harvest season now, the bumper harvest. Factories that are processing agricultural products should be able to run 2 shifts so that they are able to process as much of the agricultural produce as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. And so if already one factory is doing it and others are not doing, what we're saying is that we will give incentives for everybody who wants to run a 24-hour shift system to be able to do that, so that more young people can be employed. But we know that there will be obstacles. One, you need to provide security, because people must be able to work in the night without armed robbers going to attack them. So it means that we must provide more police officers. We must provide all those companies with security so that they are able to do their work. But if we have to provide more police officers and security men, it means we will employ more young people to join the security services to be able to make the 24-hour economy work. And so it doesn't mean that if already 1 or 2 industries are doing it, or 1 or 2 companies are doing it, we cannot provide incentives for more of them to do it so that they can provide opportunity for more young people to get work. And so it is our policy, we'll implement it. It's not by force. When we come, we'll open it. The initiative is available. Any company that wants to work a shift system and work more than the 8 hours that they normally work, from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, they will sign on and we'll give them tax incentives. Because if you work the extra shift, you will be given tax breaks. Aside from that, you'll be provided with security and everything that you need to be able to employ more people. And so it is a policy that we're working through. We have a team that is working on it, and we will roll it out, and companies that are willing to participate will sign on and join. We'll give them the tax incentives they need. And then also I indicated that in the night when we're sleeping, the electricity companies are still producing electricity, but we're using less. So the companies that sign on to the 24-hour economy, why don't we give them the electricity at a cheaper rate so that it can reduce their cost of production? And that will encourage more companies to work at night if they can be provided with security. And so it's a project that we will adopt. We have a group of experts working on it. We'll roll out the policy, and companies that voluntarily want to sign on will be allowed to do so.
Mahama nsemo odi tu edwa enie efa aye 24-hour economy na hono na odi tu dwa wie ne sammy gyamfi a oye communication se director to communication hwan so abedi nkobo ono so aba be chirim e de a kire Ghana fo e wo aye onua TV omso ko aye TV 3 se bibisa 3 news se bibisa temse 3 news yes okotena so ko di nkomo ko chiche 24 ni mu e de kire Ghana fo pa a na nya asem keto no no kwa de na twema adwene sisu se osise oye overtime ani etua na me busa omutim se na companies do sen na wo Ghana omo clock ansa no ma ye adwuma ana company do sen na wo Ghana omo di 8 hours na ye adwuma sa abuluchiri eti omo 24 eminim ebia no mo abe create adwuma bi akasa adwuma we no be mo 8 hours o clock 8 hours na after say why 8 hours na wie no na otua extra minim anyway omo na do omo share benti they have their own ideas yengo tie Sammy Gyamfi
to create an enabling environment and provide the necessary incentives for private businesses and certain critical state institutions to be able to operate 24/7 round the clock in 3 shifts of 8 hours each for the purpose of transforming Ghana into an import substitution export-led economy, for the purpose of enhancing public services for the people of this country, and for the purpose, more importantly, of creating decent, sustainable, well-paying jobs. That is what it's about. Number one, a deliberate government strategy.
Right.
We are not going to leave it to chance. Like Bawumia has said, if you want, operate 24/7. If you want, don't do. No, this is a deliberate strategy.
That
like
you would
it
do.
pertains in Sydney, like it pertains in the United Kingdom, where there is a deliberate strategy to encourage businesses and government institutions to operate 24/7. And you are not just going to operate 24/7, you are going to operate 3 shifts. If somebody is going to work more than 8 hours beyond one shift, you are going to pay overtime, which will be more expensive than the regular pay you pay the person per hour. You understand? So by creating these multiple shifts, you are enhancing productivity and efficiency, because the time that these businesses will not be working now, they are working and they are producing more. Not only for the domestic, to meet domestic demand or for import substitution, but also for exports.
But questions about security have been raised.
We have
Questions
addressed
about-
that.
Questions about how to formalize the economy so that
We
they
have
can
addressed all
accommodate
that.
this.
We have
Transport
addressed-
system.
You go to my Instagram page, Facebook page, Twitter page, you will see the answers to the frequently asked questions. We have said that we are going to have a special security architecture for this, made up of the state security agencies and private security companies. And we are going to recruit young people to be part of this security architecture to provide security for the various business districts and for companies that was signed onto the 24-hour economic policy. And we have said that to motivate these companies, we are going to give them cheaper electricity through what we call the time of use tariffs. So they will have special meters, time of use meters. It pertains in other advanced jurisdictions, calibrated to charge them a cheaper rate for power they consume in the night of peak hours. That is what we do. And on the issues of demand, we have said that we are going to stimulate demand by using the procurement power of the government. Government is the biggest spender in the economy. So if government decides to patronize made in Ghana goods, to patronize the services and the goods of businesses operating 24/7, they will have a market to run 24/7 and employ more
Dr.
people.
Baumia says
This
it's
is
a
common
bad
sense.
idea.
Why would
that
he
you
say-
don't understand,
why would
because
he-
it's already happening. It's 24-hour economy is
As I
already
speak to
happening.
you today, do we have time of use tariffs in Ghana? Answer. Do we have time of use tariffs?
I'm not
in Ghana?
Dr. Baumia.
No, but do we have time of use tariffs in Ghana? Do we have time of use tariffs in Ghana? So clearly you can see that this is a liar talking. You believe him at your own peril. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Does Ghana today have a 24-hour economy strategy? We don't. Why is it that the UK has a 24-hour economy strategy? Why didn't the UK say that in UK businesses run 24 hours already, so we don't need a 24-hour economy? Why do they have a night tube? Do you know the amount of money the night tube gives the economy of London and UK alone? So these are people who are totally clueless about the 24-hour economy and job creation.
In some say, and Sammy gyamfi edi two ija. Na Sammy gyamfi din sansem we two dwa wie no. Osan so call Metro TV kwatena so no kokodi nkomo. Na before ebekọ Sammy gyamfi Metro TV kwatena so no. Me hu sa afafranto kran so di hu nkomo kakra. E ma afafranto kra be chire mu se 24 hours ndi nkeye. But according to afafranto, o se ne o ma e o se edigu akwan mu anse na 24 hour na ba no. Enu nyamba ya awa we no mo kan emfa. Afafranto nsem o di tu dwa no. Emanfo say controversial no odin. Yenkoti de afafranto okan.
Mahama Obeka say ono di oba or the 24-hour economy ne beba enya sha. So kasa on kan boni. Obi obeka say 24-hour economy no enya di papa no na so no on politics ase. Wamu say ya 24-hour economy no na say politics na so won ti ase. Na mom dia se bisa John Mahama ni say mi aminu o mi nua ketwa enso so wabedi president wadi animu. Dia se bisa Yewra John Mahama ni say dia na wo be ya ebema economy no atimi around 24 hours. And only question I see bisa. Aramebua. That is the question that we need to put to the NDC. But so we now can say the 24-hour economy no ya fanya juma na say won't ase. No mom dia me bisa Yewra Mahama ni say open 24-hour economy. You must fix your economy first. An economy in crisis cannot support a 24-hour economy. Me say, an economy in crisis cannot support a 24-hour economy. I know see a 24-hour economy. Fix the economy first. Alan Chamatim, we are president. I will fix the economy. Choboy, me say, I will fix the economy. I know Anna Abema Foundation. You better be there 24-hour economy. Abrafu will be a friend. He said, fixing the economy is only a necessary condition, not a sufficient condition. Yamika Muti Ase. Yesika Samno. Se usie crown kwa. As I say, we become one sana 24-hour economy. No, I day abem. And no na and nemijna ha. Me person me fat video so I catch them for Ghana and say Alan. Say mu pejam number president. Me the normal 9 and baba. Ama afei sa 24-hour economy no e betu abem.
In some say ana afafranto edi tu dwa. Ebra no so enamo a woye ne campaign obo na okọ na probo a na enya asem ketwa nti afafranto nsem a walking ene de mahama ene se events Sammy gyamfi aba bekan wodwene ho sen wankasa no hu 24 hour na be yi anase nyi yaja si e try de besi ne de benko na Sammy gyamfi firi ho no sanso kwetena Metro TV se je omo kire 24 hour nim nti obi o ho nim de bia omutimi frene ba TV so aba kire na adwene e wo sa side o. Nti Sammy gyamfi echeche mu wie won tire news ho ne ade ni nyina no ene osanso ko pie mu e wo Metro ekọ cheche mu the same story na opanyin wadaso ese scam o se scam na scam se sen yenkoti ya adekunti o se scam
24-hour economy it's a scam. You explain, bring one to me, bring Dampari, bring everybody. It's a potluck of issues. You cannot simply begin where you are supposed to end. You must begin to get to the end finish line. You have not begun. Everything Sammy talked about, the balance of it was about fiscal policy, stability. If Good Morning, Metro TV had not designed Good Morning Ghana, we will not be sitting here today, okay, discussing this program. Probably you'll be somewhere else, I'll be somewhere else. But because this program existed, okay, we are here today. So you have to build a foundation. You have to have a foundation to build. So I don't know how simple I can make this for you and your party. Because look, let me just read one of the things that you have here. It said what? Implement a 24-hour economy strategy, okay, with 3 shifts of 8 hours each to maximize productivity and efficiency. That's not what is going to maximize productivity. That's not. The 24 hours is not going to. You implement policies that create the opportunity for people to leverage the opportunity and engage into production. In other words, what you're talking about is completely, unreal. It's just not something that happens. It's a big lie. Complete big lie. I mean, the biggest scam in all political promise in the world anywhere. You cannot jump to the end before you come to the beginning. That for me is just not practical.
Are you saying that there cannot be a 24-hour policy? We cannot have a policy which is about a 24-hour economy. Is that your proposition? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, I can answer your question, but I want to ask you, 24-hour economy to do what?
No, just answer the question because I'm listening to you.
Yes.
And I keep hearing you say that it cannot be a policy. You cannot have a 24-hour policy.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
What I'm saying is not a primary policy consideration. It's a product of policy that you implement. So it's a product of your fiscal policy that creates the aggregate demand that the production would grow around it.
So are you suggesting that you cannot have a 24-hour policy which is premised on doing A, B, C, D? So I'll give you an example. You know, he mentioned the issue about the UK and night
talk, yeah.
So I'm sure that you are familiar with the UK experience. There are places where bus service, train service closes at a particular point in time.
Yes.
Okay. So in developing the 24-hour economy, one of the things that the policy formulators realized was that to push that policy, to facilitate it, you needed to have, for example, public transport run 24/7. You cannot have a situation where the bus service and the train service do not go to those areas, because you also need the facilitation of transportation of human beings and others to be able to engender that thing you're talking about. So in the 24-hour policy, you would find the running of those lines 24/7. So those lines that close at say 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., that they now will run beyond that period, so that persons will be able to move into those areas in order to facilitate what they intend to do in those particular areas.
Right.
Yes.
But see, so everything you have said, the simple answer to that is that, look, it's like you're trying to kickstart demand, right? You're
stimulating demand.
Yes, kickstart stimulating demand.
Yes.
Now, you must realize that you operate a free market.
Yes.
It is not government that is in charge of the economy. So if you have that policy to do 24-hour economy, it must be appealing to me, the business person, subject to the availability of the demand for what produce that I make, right? To be able to say that, okay, well, there's a market for me. I take that incentive. I'll be able to go ahead and meet the market demand. Even if you give me electricity at 10 cedis for all throughout the night, and I can stay up in the night and produce, having produced in the daytime, or I can produce in the night, and there is no demand for the product that I'm producing, I won't take it. What you then would have is that because daytime tariff is higher than the nighttime, we'll not produce in the daytime, we'll choose to produce in the night, because practically the demand is not there.
So what I'm saying is suggesting that people go into business only on the basis of existing demand and not potential demand.
Potential demand, but your expansion of production is directly related to the demand in the market. So you can come up with an ingenious idea to say that you want to bottle water. Before we had sachet water, or the water that they tie with hands, or the water we drink from the cup. People made lips, but those lips, as you know, in scientific research, you stay close to the literature. So you stay close to reality to say that now people drink water, not only in their house, but when they're on the road, they need water. So first we were selling it in cups. But after a while, we saw that was not hygienic. So I'm coming. So it's not hygienic. So maybe we should put it in some rubber. And you know that those rubber came. And then people were thinking about it. Still, people are drinking water. Maybe that water that we put in the bag, people just fetch it in their bucket and just pour it, and they're dead. You can see it. Those days, you can see the particles in the water. So people say, well, why don't we filter it and make sachet water? That became the big idea. So it's a progressive growth in transforming. But when you say you are going to do that, without showing us how you are leaping, and your leap is quantum, such that it departs from the progressive development that is real, that you're saying that, okay, when imagine that 2025 January 1st, some party wins government, and then boom, 24-hour comes. You can't lie into a baby like that. How is that going to happen? They just call the producers, manufacturer, and say, everybody, now start producing 8 hours. Employ people 8 hours, 3 shifts a day. How do you begin to have a conversation like that? It's just not realistic. It's not realistic.
Opanyin so nchire mo odi abani o. Na so tie asem o mo ka ene conversation e koso a. Amanfo mebina ebusa se na die na o mo de agu akwan mo de be 23. Na nyuma sen na wo Ghana o mo yusu hours e de adwuma. Kofi koranteng kura di hu komo dadadada e ovim lady eye afidie so a no odi e wo adwaso ekirikyire ni nsemu yi e wo sa afidie so se 24-hour economy ye nkofo iken wo so no wonte ase na wo busa kura se hifo kura na mankofo wi adwene e mo mutimi de kasasa.
London has an economy and yet 24 hours. Matina mako Dubai, UAE, mako Germany, mako Japan, mako Singapore. Women now were incredible economies and yet 24 hours. First of all, to even think about a 24-hour economy, no. Responding to Mr. Mahama, no. If the 3 things you need to have available on Sakra and Wajune of a 24-hour economy are connectivity, complexity, and competencies. You can't even possibly think of a 24-hour economy. Indeed, all it tells me is that the making statements, which is Dr. Mr. Mahama, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yakasha na no se koka ede onoso abeka 24-hour economy. Ye need transportation system, mass transit system Ghana ni kra ye ni bi. Into the maminka we yo obi oka trotro or started 6 and or part no bepon ebia 8 and you mre why adwuma 12-14 hours no upon no kofia why no metwa sa ne shift no so we need mass transit system. Then this is what the Chinese established before anything else. If you want an economy, the first thing you establish is you build roads, connectivity. We need roads connected. We need data. And for your calls for Ghana, we are called be a trap with micro mobile Vodafone waha MTN waha me frame or say the caller is out of reach. Now bakushe biko to kum. Won't establish connectivity. You can't even think of an economy extended past the normal hours. Number 2, say you can say 24-hour economy. The government cannot legislate economy. Your friends saying economies. What the government does, they say you provide infrastructure to the public sector. Now the public sector, private institutions, businesses, private sector comes in and explode resource infrastructure up until the point that the spectrum gets full.
Once correct, say you can't legislate 24 hours.
And no, that statement is correct, but on no crown on TSC because to me utilities and private sector. every economy biano, for an economy to even survive to crawl, no, there are some utility companies, agencies of government that you have to establish to say hospital, police, fire service, no, and no, your base for any economy. You can't say just because it runs a 24-hour and you have a 24-hour economy. That's not what the concept means. If London
doesn't understand it too,
they
doesn't get it.
What hospital now running 24 hours? I would say you have a 24-hour economy. Oh my gosh. I mean, these are blunders in conforms one person presidents they are making, and people are listening.
But what are you talking about, my brother?
And it's a hospital.
What are you talking about?
My point is,
I mean, there's a Microsoft. No, I mean, what are you talking about?
Spanish.
The good thing is that you're in school near Kobe. In Tiasama, hospital is an aspect of the economy. Your car utilities are and banks are all aspects of the economy. If you can't say banks, how can you even talk like that?
Companies, Dubai nominate Singapore no crown running 24-hour economy because if you are mamin can show obia we a business we a prudent business person no what per se what exhausted with spectrum of hours our the year juma let me tell you how complicated that is. Obia oye juma 8 hours no oye juma 8 hours ni we are over man 2 hours 3 hours overtime. To a business owner no it makes sense and it's prudent. Se one more 2-3 hours no now we kofa obi foforo ba say on starting a new shift of 8 hours complications that come up no mind boggling. I didn't and let me tell you, number one, except what you need the nipa krona oba be ya adwuma in sa new shift no aduane obedi ne medical accidents me my PNC property and casualty intiminim obi or your business person bia takes that into account to say Obi ye juma as I said we provide man slips and falls. Any liability is huge. Into all businesses and na businesses running 8-hour shift, 10, 12 hours, not on your bill.
Okay, to reduce their liability.
It's not because of that. Companies don't run 20. Those companies that do not run 20.
Master, wait and let me finish. You are interrupting.
If there's demand, you run 24 hours.
If you call your friend say Osu now we call Gobea. We be 2:30 to 3 Gobea sa. Nipa stragglers maybe 4-5 and Crawford back. Oh, Gobe be or hot. There be asan ya nyebio. Dear Oton Gobeno. And now the Oton do chrono Oton watching. They are not concerned about making extra income from the stragglers who come after the hours, no. Or you're more concerned of the possible loss or be incur for staying past the time as so stay. In Ghana for Adriane 4 hours, 1 year Adriane, 1 year businesses, 1 more give a service Biano, 1 more prime time, 1 day 1 more service, no. After our service, no, they don't provide any service. And let me tell you why. When you run a 24-hour economy, you can't isolate it. It has to work synergistically in an orchestra. Just say, every other business, be a support to one business, a pair or Jumano. You have to have maybe 10, 15 other businesses as a support to know at the same time. Yes, as our business need to be successful.
Okay, so your point is?
The point is, because I want to me and legislative, our businesses now, it has to come to cause our one business need to open. Because Nipana Obabe Juma or Hono, as I said, Onya Duanidi, Opera, as I said, Obihano, as I said, Onya car, a corny business. I don't cross Babe Juma, one the Uber and Nebeko and one the taxi Nebeko.
Okay.
Sometimes the church run Juma, church running the year transportation were Ghana. Into to even think that Opa said we are 24-hour economy, no. You haven't even fixed your transportation system. You need mass transit to Ghana. Yeah, what?
But what when I say my time, I'm gonna try somewhere. Ayalolo. Yeah, and you kogu no. Yeah, ayalolo and the card. And
yeah, so no man can say yeah, and you kogu no.
No, not to coffee party. Yes, you can present go for ya. Metro Marty, my any day.
If A leader is who puts together and assembles people. One more junior, one more junior. Send us our problems. Nema. Then a dear piano. Ghana phone kwana de bia. Oh, na Ghana phone say no. The people cannot be the problem. The leaders are the problem. The leaders no wouldn't actually to put together and assemble the people who plan Sanyama way here. Then you will always have problems. And no, the problem of the people. The problem because the leaders, so-called leaders, need the mental capacity to put these things together.
Wow.
And
they don't have the mental capacity.
They don't.
Okay.
But listen, statement here, Mahama Koye, friend Nebisano, then why to put together a 24-hour economy?
Okay. And Chris Dugan, the camera, I wanted him to fix the camera so that Obabe trim because Mahama Nam said, what is the system supposed to do?
What ni Mahama Nam say when I will born Mahama, we Yankupon said, you cannot create a 24-hour economy in a vacuum. There has to be an incredible amount of systems that go around every business holding in place. Martina, New York, more than 37 years. I know a 24-hour economy because there's one in New York.
Okay.
It's like no other place in the world because subway systems run 24 hours, buses run 24 hours. Pretty much everything in the city runs 24 hours in New York. You don't get that anywhere in the world. Dubai doesn't run like that. Singapore doesn't run like that. You can't just...
Not even Hong Kong, swear.
Masa, in Shanghai, Shanghai, there are 27 million people in Shanghai. 27 million. The place is slightly bigger than the greater Accra. 27 million people. They don't have a 24-hour economy. There are pockets of economies because one more dialects, tribes, different. Into pockets of places outside of Shanghai city. But you can't qualify that to be a 24-hour economy.
Okay.
So to make a statement, sir. Now, Dr. Baumianso about the nurses, doctors, fire service, police. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Who these people? Who advises these people to make these ridiculous statements? Ridiculous.
And some kofi koranteng kan me pacha won so wa buruchiri a wo hwe program bi de papa yi kan ni ba bi efiri besi yi wa dwene mu no hu ni sen unu se 24 hours yi o mu kan ade ebetimi aye bibi de anyway me de me busa me question but me nim say even Israel so we adwuma kra na adwuma bu wo ho aye ne data bu aye na najo ana najo de na aye ne kra no eno clock time we over time aye odi tua ana wo ye aye najo de so sika no wo so kakra na mo ye daytime no. It mean companies a work Ghana or mobile I don't know, meaning how many more plans there. To bet me what venture now what the apa.
What's so more bamboo here? Name Papa Mudi, Pro Technologies, and I make come from our Anne Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yet on ESA install CCTV cameras in the Sour Ghana and NASA brochure now fear Ghana. Now pursue CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and in Sour. We get CCTV camera installation and interior decoration. So what's if you're and I assume fear na mauno. Your sign decoration. Your best yes you be and our officer at the amount. And where the bayer at the amount. Our Ghana Ubehuyan. When we're front denta Edward Yacha Dodoa. We are our Ashi, Yene Emalin Pharmacy, and what the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 and a plus 401-6992-254. Pro Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.